Following last week's Senate approval of a $500 million loan from the World Bank for the purchase of electricity meters, Nigerians have been speaking on the federal government's commitment to address the power situation in the country. With the country struggling with an evident metering gap, many are positive that if managed properly, the loan will help address the perennial crisis in the power sector, while others are worried that it will only add to the country's debt burden without any commensurate impact on the power sector. The report.
The $500 million loan recently approved by the Senate is part of the $7.94 billion World Bank loan sought by President Bola Tinubu on November 1, 2023. The fund is aimed at bridging the electricity metering gap the country is currently facing. However, many have been wondering how well the project fits into the power sector gaps with regards to service delivery.
This calls for a lot of accountability, because the challenge with the sector has been that a lot of investment has happened, and this was what led us to the point where liquidity became we had a liquidity crisis, where the regulator and the energy trading company MBET was saying that the discos weren't remitting enough. The discos charge customers for meters. What is the difference that this 500 million is going to make? Is it to subsidize customers who cannot afford to pay for their meters? Or is it to do other necessary things on the electricity distribution and transmission systems that would guarantee that power can flow preferably bidirectionally?
With the country facing several grid collapses that plunged the nation into protracted blackouts, as well as inconsistent power supply, putting concerns about the federal government's ability to effectively address the challenges have been raised.
It's a chicken and egg situation. You can't just raise tariffs and buy meters without making concurrent investments in the infrastructure that will generate and move that electricity from one point to another.
The loan has since stirred mixed reactions amongst Nigerians who on one hand welcomed it while expressing fear that it will only add to Nigeria's rising debt profile.
I think it's a loan too much. This government doesn't want us to have a breathing space. The level of poverty in this country, the level in other advanced countries, these meters are given free of charge, because invariably the users of the meter are going to pay for it.
The purpose of the loan is appropriate. However, my concern is, why is the federal government concerned with metering of houses? As far as I know, the power sector has been unbundled a long time ago. All the GENCOs and the DISCOs have been advertised, even though the federal government has shares. As
a crucial part of Nigeria's economy, there is a continuous need to inject investments into the country's power sector to address the recurring challenges therein. Chamun Dabeng, Trust TV News, Abuja.